Hi everyone. Hope you're ready to do the heel part of your sock. So I have checked and I have done 21 centimeters, and I've counted my rows. I've got 77 rows there, which is the same as I did on my previous sock. So to measure it, you just need to measure there, 21 centimeters. So if this is your first sock, that's what you need to do. Or this is quite a long sock, really. You could do it. You could do it shorter than that, if you wanted to. And we're ready to do the next part. So I want to do that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14, 15, 16. Right, now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to purl now on these stitches, and I am going to purl, let me just check, 32 stitches. I knew that, I don't know why I had to check. So I'm going to purl those 16 again, then I'm going to purl the next 16, and then that 32 is where we're going to make the heel. So I'm going to purl back now. So I've done 16, and now I'm going to do another 16. So that marker at the end of the line, at the end of the round, is basically in the middle of the heel. 2, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. So turn it round. I'm going to make the heel here. Okie dokie. So the first thing we need to do is the yarns at the back. Slip that first stitch as if you're going to purl it, but you don't knit it. And then you knit the next stitch. Slip the stitch, knit the stitch. Slip the stitch, knit the stitch. Just keep doing that all the way until you come to the end of the 32 stitches. So I'm just coming up to the end of that little section now. Slip that one, knit that one. So you can see I've come to the end of there now. It's quite obvious when you get there. You'll be able to tell. Turn it round, and then slip with the yarn at the front. Slip that first stitch as if you're going to purl it, but don't purl it, and then purl all the rest of the stitches. So that's your 31 stitches. And then when you finish this, you need to repeat those 15 more times, so 16 times altogether. And that's what I did on my other sock, so it's going to match my other sock, so I don't need to worry about that, as long as I make sure I just keep a note every time I've finished the purl row. Make a note, so I'm just keeping that that marker there. I think it's not doing any harm, and it might as well just stay there, and then I know where the middle of my row is. So when I've done that, so I think that's fairly straightforward, you just need to keep repeating that. So when I've done that another 15 times, I'll be back with you again to show you how to do the next bit, which is turning the heel. See you later. Hi, I'm ready to show you the next bit now. This is my heel that I've got here, and now we're going to make the little show you this bit. We're going to do this bit. We're going to turn the heel. So first of all, I am going to knit 18 stitches. Right, so that's my 16. So I think this this marker's going to be in the way now. I'm going to take it off. So that's 16, 17, 18, and now we're going to slip one, knit one, pass the slipped stitch over, knit one more, and then turn around. And the next row is slip one, purl 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, purl 2 together, purl another one, turn around. Right, so now I'm going to, it says slip one and then knit to the first stitch before the gap. So with the gap we're talking about here where we turned before we started purling. So slip that one and then knit, and now see there's one stitch there and then there's the gap. So when we get to here, we're going to slip that next stitch, then knit the following stitch, and then pass the slipped stitch over. Make sure you don't do that all too loose, otherwise you're going to end up with a hole, and then you're going to knit a stitch, and then you're going to turn. And then I'm going to do the same thing again, so slip a stitch and then purl until we're nearly at the gap at the other end. So I'm there now. So I've got one purl stitch and then I've got my gap. So I'm going to purl those two together. So closing that gap up basically. And then purl the next stitch. And then turn. Keep repeating that process until you've worked across all these stitches, and you need to end on a wrong side row. So the last row you're going to work is going to be purl row. So same thing again, slip this stitch and then knit until I get to the gap. And there's the gap. So I'm going to slip that one, knit that next one, pass that slipped stitch over, and then knit the next one. I think that's the one I always used to forget to do, that next knit. You've got to remember that, otherwise it don't work. Slip that stitch and then start purling. So I've got, there's a gap here, purl these two together and then purl the next stitch and then turn and then just carry on. So it doesn't take long to do this bit, and once you've done it you're then ready to start creating the gusset and going back to knitting all the way around again. So obviously I shall return when we get to that part.